Shake it, 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 shake it like a Polaroid picture. Shake it, 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 shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady, she made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. And she said, do you come from a land down under? Where women go and men wonder. Can't you hear the thunder? You gotta run, you gotta take cover. We are living in a land down under. Women go and men wonder. Can't hear the thunder. You better run, you better take cover.
Hey. Oh, look at this. This is good. No, don't do that. How did that happen? I ain't doing that. Oh, anyway. Hey, everybody. It's Casper here from a little known podcast called Auzzie Rules. Anyway, I thought I would jump on. I haven't done one in a little while. I'm doing it a little bit different. Sorry, I'm just not really prepped right at that same time. I play those intros, and I need to get this microphone a little bit better. Okay, so I play these intros, and I haven't worked out, like, I got them playing through OBS, but they don't, I can't hear them, but I know they come out on air, so I started listening to it on air, and then there's a little time delay, and it annoys me that I can't get it, like, perfect, and I need someone with some OBS knowledge to help me. I think I need to have the monitor option on or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, this is a way that I set it up from the beginning, and I got a little bit of advice from someone, and I Googled and I YouTubed the rest. So anyway, this is Auzzie Rules. This is coming at you not live. I decided to do something a little bit different, and I decided not to go live on Scope because I want to talk about some issues, and I wanted to have the opportunity to scrap it if it doesn't come out right, so if that makes any sense. So, plus also the people that I have lined up or had lined up, I can easily line up, aren't available at this time. It's Sunday here in Brizzy. Beautiful day today, 24 degrees Celsius. I mean, it was just beautiful in the middle of winter. It's like fucking beautiful here, I swear. And the people that I wanted to have on aren't around. They're in a different time zone, and it's funny. I had a conversation with Mr. Jeff Cow, President Jeff Cow, as we like to call him, from Canada, Toronto, Canada, to be precise. And we had a brief Skype chat yesterday, and I said to him exactly 24 hours from now, I'm going to go live, and come on, and we'll have a shit chat like we always do. Just talk the shit, like whatever you want to talk about. I always have stuff written down to fall back on, but with Jeff we just talk about anything, you know. So, and that's one of the actual things I wanted to talk about tonight was the online friendship sort of thing on the internet. That's one of the things. Got many things. I'm trying to squeeze it all into an hour, but we'll see how we go. And anyway, when I got up this morning at 9, and I thought, well, okay, an hour, I have a quick bite to eat, quick shower, hopefully, you know, quickly set up the podcast. It doesn't take too much to set up unless something's not working. And so I messaged Jeff and over there, and it's now 7:40 p.m. Sunday night, and I still haven't heard back from Jeff when I told him that I was going live at 10 a.m. this morning. So I didn't go live 10 a.m. this morning because some of the things I wanted to talk about actually needed him to bounce stuff off, because I wanted to get his opinion as well as his comments on the things I wanted to talk about. But I've decided to go forward and just have a chat tonight with myself. And I've got some things written down, and I've been thinking about a few things. And well, where do we start? But yeah, I haven't done a podcast for a while. I'm very, I guess I'm a little bit sorry, but I'm not sorry. I didn't think I did. Actually, I don't think I did one in July at all. I've got here written in my book here, Auzzie Rules 30th of the 6th. And I don't, obviously July is gone and we're into August, and I didn't have anything written down. So, you know, hey, it's like an expression therapy for me. It doesn't do too much. I mean, when I went live last time, was it that time or time before, where I look, the only way I can explain it is that somebody must have brought me a heap of views, because went a little bit crazy there. But hey, thanks for that, Jack. But anyway, so I've been loving quite a lot of things lately. Now, I did a Sydney trip. I did a Sydney trip just after my birthday, in June. And I did another Sydney trip. I do a Sydney trip every couple of years because that's where I was born. That's where I grew up. I do have friends and family down there. And each time I go down, I try to catch up with 2 or 3 people. So when I went down this time, I caught up with a fellow I used to work with. Lovely, lovely man named Yüksel. Turkish man. He was actually retrenched from where I used to work in a small cut down of about 3 people out of the main workshop area, and because I was running the stores and production coordinator, I didn't get a say in that, and I only found out at the last moment, and I tried my best to save Yüksel from being retrenched by offering actually one of the guys that I had working in the store, who wasn't working very well with him, who ironically is now running the stores since we've all of us senior guys have left, and it didn't work, and it was a very sad moment, and I kept in touch with him, and I felt so bad. I was angry, that the guy had been let go. He was such a handy bloke, and if he was around up here, in the future, I could find him a position where I am, but at the moment there is we're not big enough. But there is some big plans in the future. But anyway, I don't think he wants to move to Queensland. Move the whole family to Queensland. He just built a big place at the back of his place for his son and his I don't think he's married, but fiance maybe. I mean, he might be married. That's where they live now. So back in the day, I used to go over to Yüksel's house and. He had this massive barbecue, and if you know what Aussies are like with their barbecue, he used to just put like a shitload of chicken wings on the grill, and he'd cook them really slow on the grill, and they'd be dripping down. And then we'd just sit there and eat friggin' chicken wings. I mean, I don't even like chicken wings. I prefer bloody drumsticks or something like that. But these chicken wings were just so beautiful. And when we were at work down there, when we used to work together, he used to often help me in the store. And he would bring in food. I mean, his wife would cook food, and he'd bring it in and he'd share it around. He's a very, very nice guy. He had some. I think he still has some. Every now and then he falls into some really bad gambling habits. But he's managed to stay married, and I think he's like, he used to brag about how good how low his mortgage was for the house that he had, which always impressed me. And he always, every 2-3 years, he would upgrade his Commodore. He'd buy the newest Holden Commodore and stuff like that. And anyway, when I speak to him now, without looking at, without me asking him directly, he seems like now his mortgage is as big as it was 10 years ago when I was there. So yeah, I don't know if he's come too far, and he's obviously, and ironically, he's got a casual job just around the corner, or like round the block from where we used to work. So, but I was when I threw it in there for the reasons that I threw it in, I was very, very sad because has anyone worked at a place for 20 plus years? I basically went. I was a kid when I went there. I mean, really, I was only, say, 19, probably. About 18 or 19. Because when I left school, I went into the bank. I was in the bank for a year, got transferred, got glandular fever. I didn't like the branch they sent me to, and I chucked it in, and without any prospects, you know what young people do. And from there, I basically got my second mum that I grew up with just threw my name at this place where she was working, and I went there, and I was there for 22, 23 years or something like that, 24 years. And so it was very sad but not only did I leave that job, not only did I throw that in after that amount of times, is that there was no reason for me to stay there, and my mother had brought a house up here in Queensland, and had brought a house where it was all downstairs. It was like living quarters downstairs, so it was all set up for me. And my stepfather was working away in the mines, and my mum's by herself. I mean, my sister and kids are up here, but my mum wanted her own house. And the stepfather, when I was talking to him, he said to me, mate, why don't you just go and live downstairs and keep your eye on your mother? And I went, okay, all right. So then I quickly organised a removalist, packed up, and moved from Sydney to Queensland, all within 2 weeks of throwing in the job. It was like such a fucking massive life change. But I tell you what, looking back on it now, best thing I ever did. It's much nicer up here. I'm working in a place now that I have the same status and income. I only just achieved that recently, actually. I think Queensland. I went from like the place I used to work for has changed names multiple times, and since I've left, it actually pretty much got sold. It got downsized. Like they sold it off other sections of it. It was in the one. It was just in the top 100 on the stock exchange, on the Australian Stock Exchange at one point in time. It's no longer there now. And they sold off a large chunk that they owned in the States in property management. Once they sold that off, I don't know really how this sort of business works, but it became subjectable for takeover. It got down to a size where it was vulnerable to other people for taking over. So another company brought it, and they're running it now. But they're still trading as the name that I used to work for. So yeah, it's interesting. So now I go down to Sydney every couple of years because every time I go down there, I say I'm not coming back. Because they're crazy down there. They fucking drive like maniacs. Their life goes like 3 times faster than what I'm used to up here. So I love it up here in Queensland, in Brisbane, Queensland. And I can't see myself, sorry I'm going to sneeze. I can't see myself ever going back. So anyway, getting on to another subject. So what have I? So Jeff isn't around, so I'm decided just to go forward and do this on my own, which is fine. That's probably pretty much what I'm used to. So everyone knows I'm a Kiss fan. Well, a lot of people know I'm a Kiss fan. If you listen to any of my other podcasts, or Jeff and I have done our favourite Kiss songs and all sorts of things and other music. But anyway, they're coming to Australia in November, and last year I was talking to Jeff. No, it was around Christmas time or something. I was talking to Jeff Cowan about going and seeing them, and then he wanted to take his brother Phil to see Kiss because Phil really loves Kiss, and it was going to be the last time. It's truly the last time this time, end of the road tour or something like that. Even though I got a shirt over there that says the Farewell Tour, what is it? 1973 to 2001. That was the Farewell Tour. Can you believe that? Fucking 18 years later, they're really ending it. It's like they kept touring and just kept using the same, like, this is the last time. Anyway, I've already seen Kiss twice, right? So anyway, I start looking at tickets. Tickets are fucking massively expensive. I couldn't believe how much they wanted. I don't want to sit right at the back where you just look at pencil figures on the fucking stage. I wanted to sit somewhere reasonable down where you're looking at them. I don't mean right down the front where you're going to pay thousands of dollars, right? And I don't want to stand the whole fucking time. I want to be able to take the option of sitting down. Because I know what these things are like. You're there for fucking 4 hours. So I start looking and they're all really expensive. And I tell a long story short, I basically gave up after a time. I wasn't willing to pay $400 sort of thing for a silver ticket, reserve seating ticket, which was a mediocre sort of side. At the side, but not on the floor, but up a couple of levels, but certainly not at the back. So I basically just give up, right? And I'm sitting here one night, and I'm looking at my Facebook, and I'm a member of a lot of the local groups that sell stuff in the area, and I'm a member of about 3 different groups. Anyway, believe it or not, coincidence or not, up pops this ad basically where a guy's selling 2 Kiss tickets for like $150. I'm going like, this can't be true. This can't be true. And I thought about it, and I went like, this guy probably has no fucking idea. But then if he brought the tickets, he would have paid so much more. Anyway, I message him and say, mate, is this for real? If it's real, consider them sold. He gave me the fucking seating position. I looked it up on the map, on the entertainment center map, and I said, mate, I'll come and pick him up on my way to soccer tomorrow night. The guy only lives like 15 minutes away. So I went and picked him up. The guy said, then the story sort of came a bit clearer. He won him in a radio contest. And he doesn't even know Kiss. He doesn't like Kiss, and he just thinks, why would I want to go and see Kiss? I was like, okay, everyone's different. I said, no, mate. I wanted to. I just saw a deal, so I grabbed them. Right. Anyway, so I look them up, and they're all real. You know, it's all legit. It's all proper tickets. I got them right here in my bag up here, and so time goes on, and I think to myself, I don't know if am I going to take someone? Should I take someone? Should I take a chick? Should I take a friend? Should I take one of my nieces? Like, because I'm really the only Mad Kiss person. Well, not mad, but I'm a Kiss fan. I grew up with them, basically. Anyway, I started looking lately at what the prices of the tickets were for, and I'm thinking like, maybe I won't even go, because I've already watched 3 of their concerts on YouTube. It's exactly the same fucking set. Exactly the same. They're doing this almost the same set everywhere they go. And some of the videos are like just better than your seat's going to be. So I looked at what the fucking things were going for, and I'm like, fuck, you know what? I'm going to put these up for sale on eBay at a ridiculous price. And if they sell, I'm going to make a fucking small killing. If they don't sell, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? I'll just fucking go. And I'll take somebody with me. I'll decide then who I'm going to take. Anyway, I put them on eBay. For fucking $800 for the pair. Like, it's a pair, like, seat by seat. I thought, if anyone pays this, it is actually not crazy. Some people pay thousands for these tickets, like, at the last moment. And I just put them up like a week ago. Right? Anyway, I get this offer. Like, you could offer when you buy something. Like, I didn't put it for auction. I put it for like buy it now, $800 for the pair. First and last Brisbane concert ever. They're only doing 1 concert in Brisbane. They're doing 3 in Melbourne. They're doing a few other things in Australia, Perth, Newcastle, and then they go to New Zealand, and I think it's over after that. So I go like, I don't even check the ad, right? Because they send you, like, if they sell or something happens, they send you an email. You see the email straight away, so you don't need to keep checking. But I did go in there and looked, and there was like hundreds of views of these tickets, and I'm going like, fuck, hundreds of views. Anyway, that's interesting. So anyway, next time, because there were some other tickets on there too. Like, you could buy a single ticket for $249 or something like that, Australian or something like that. But this was a pair sitting next to each other, because there's a lot of husband and wives and stuff like that have been Kiss fans for a long time. And old farts like me. Anyway, I get this offer, eBay offer, and it said, offered me $600, which is already a pretty good profit on the $150 or whatever I paid. I might pay $150 or $200. It wasn't much money. And I'm going like, nah, man, look, it's only August. The concert's not till November. I'm sure if I hang out, I could probably get to 800. And I thought, nah. So I counteracted and said, hey, meet me halfway at 700. Otherwise, I'll just keep them online for now and decide later. Anyway, next minute, bang, sold. So I sold them for $700 for the pair. And I think I'm a smart businessman. I can certainly live without going to the concert, because it's always a difficult place to park, and it would have been a late night, and I probably would have had to take the next day off, because I think it was something ridiculous like a Thursday night or something like that. So I made a good profit on those. The contact spoke to the guy on email today, and he's organising PayPal, and then when I get my money, I'll express post the tickets to him. So I thought that was a good deal. So also, the reason why I haven't been doing as many podcasts as of late is that, well, I sort of cut down. In the beginning, I was doing it weekly, and crazily enough, sometimes even was doing it twice weekly when I first started. But it's completely different. I used to play nothing but music and then just talk between the music, and then people were starting to say, hey, fuck, we don't want to hear the music, we want to hear you talk, blah blah blah, and that it's not really what I wanted to do. But then I sort of like evolved over time, and I started like talking a lot more, and now I talk and don't play any music, so go figure that one. But I've been working on my house here a fair bit. I moved about 2 ton of soil by hand. Went and picked it up, shoveled it out. I laid turf, down the side of the house. Laid the plastic down. I then put turf, and then I started looking for grass. And the same thing on eBay. On Facebook, it was heaps of people selling grass around me. Anyway, I found these people that were selling this grass. It was like $5 a roll or something like that, which is mega cheap. But when I got there, right, I hooked up my fucking big trailer and all that, and I've got the fucking Mazda pulling this trailer. And what size trailer have I got? 8x4, I think it is. And anyway, I get there, right, and it's a guy that's putting in a pool. And what he did was they, scraped the grass off where he was putting the pool, and then they rolled it up and then put it on site. But the problem was, it wasn't just grass with a very thin layer of dirt attached to it and rolled up, so you could easily this had probably about 3 inches of fucking dirt underneath the grass rolled up. I swear to God, these rolls of grass were about 40 kilos each. I'm only fucking 80 kilos. Right? So, the guy's got a fractured back, like he'd hurt his back and it's fractured, like his wife had said, he's got a broken back. And I said, don't worry, I'll move the grass. Thinking that all I had to do was just carry these rolls of grass, put them in the trailer. Well, it wasn't that easy, was it? I was heavy as fuck. I hurt myself doing it. I just not built to do this all day. I can do it for a few hours and then that's it. I'm buggered. And so anyway, I got half of them done, and I said to the guy, I'm filthy, right? I didn't realize it was going to be like this. I didn't wear appropriate clothes. I didn't wear the appropriate gloves. And I said to the guy, I said, mate, I don't think I can get all these. I said, I can barely get them onto the level of the trailer, and I got to stack them one more level up. He gave me a little trolley to work with, but it was still hard, really, really hard. So anyway, the guy ended up helping me a little bit. I got all the grass. My car struggled big time. I mean, I don't know how much. I must have had a ton. I don't know. It can't have been a ton. But Jesus, my Mazda 3 is only 2 years old. Struggled big time. Anyway, I could feel the front wheels, like, because it's front wheel drive, they were like breaking traction, even getting out of the guy's driveway and stuff. And it's like, oh shit. But anyway. So I got him back home, and I struggled getting him out of the trailer, and then my Sydney trip came up and I said to Mum, I said, look, I've done some of this. I said, I can't do it, otherwise I'll wreck my back to a point where I can't even go on my trip. I'd already booked my motels and everything, so it was like I had to, so I basically left the job half done, and then I finished it when I got back. And it's going quite well, watering it. I went and brought planters, going to grow veggies in the corner there. It's going to look really nice when I'm finished. So at the moment, it's probably only about half done. So been working on that. I'm also working on, I got this open patio area where all this old lattice got pulled down so the roof could get fixed. And we didn't put the lattice back up because it was all old and a little bit moldy and a little bit damaged. So it's like a really open area out the back. And Mum doesn't like it at all. So I figured, okay, I've got to come up with some way of enclosing it that's not going to cost me millions of dollars, because there's so many extravagant ways that you could do it. So I've been looking at other people's houses. I've been Googling different structures, walls, screens, all sorts of things. I think I've found a really, really good way of doing it. It's these retractable type barriers, and you just basically just bolt it onto the corner. And you pull the screen out to the desired length, and then you just clip it into your bracket that you have to mount on the other side. And I brought one, only cost $75, and it does 3 meters. I'm going to put that up. I was going to do it today, but I realised I don't have a hammer drill. I have an electric drill, and I have 2 bloody cordless drills, but I don't have a hammer drill. So I need to borrow a hammer drill from work and get that done. I probably won't be able to do that till next weekend because I can't be drilling holes in when I get home in the evening. It's too late. It'll be too noisy. So that's ongoing, and I think I can do it that way, and I might take some pictures of it when I'm done, and see what people think. Not sure I'll put it on Twitter or anything because people just want to fucking pick the shit out of you and dox you and stuff. So, anyway, what else have I been doing? I was enjoying some of the. I tell you what, that fucking YouTube is a fantastic platform. There is fucking so much on there. I didn't realize how much was on there. I mean, yeah, you can follow podcasts and you can follow, all different things. I mean, I'm watching. We got like 60 Minutes. I know 60 Minutes is worldwide, but it was 60 Minutes Australia on there. I've been watching all the 60 Minute stuff because I don't watch a lot of free-to-air TV in my room. It's mainly just watch Foxtel, cable TV. So 60 Minutes have got a channel and they put on their stories, no ads, just the interesting article stories that they do. And man, I'm really getting into some of that stuff. And and everyone knows that if you've been in part of like Kermit Town or online communities and stuff like that, where there's some crazy people out there, and I have to admit, I do like to watch train wrecks, I guess you could call them, crazy people, I guess you could say, that do crazy things and say outrageous things. I mean, we probably all do at one point in time. And anyway, back in the day, even before, back in the day of like Blab, there was there was a few people that I was put onto that they just like, wow, look at this girl, she's crazy, or one of them was Donna Dumpster. I think she got the name Donna Dumpster, but I think her name's Donna. And she used to do crazy things, and I don't really remember, but somehow they were on YouTube, I think, and I watched a bit of that. But there's another one that captured my attention lately that someone put me onto, and her name is Tiffany. And while she's not on Scope at the moment because someone told me she deactivated or something, there seems to be a lot of that going on too. But if you go on YouTube and you type in, like, search for Tiffany TV, I don't know who owns the channel, but they were posting all her scopes and stuff. And I don't understand how people can record just everything. I miss everyone's scope. So I don't know how. I guess they're recording. Are they recording off Periscope TV? There must be some way where these people that record these people just know when they're always on. Like, they must get notified or something. I don't know how it works. She's the what have I got written down here? She's the beggar drunk of Periscope. Anyway, I was watching one of her scopes a couple of weeks ago, right? And you won't believe you won't believe this. Well, this is the sort of person she is. She had a woman on. She knew her, and this woman it's basically terminal. Now, unless this other woman's putting on a good show, this woman's saying she's terminal, and I think I've heard her before, and I can't remember her name. Sorry, and she's saying to Tiffany, "Well, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be around, so I just want to tell you that stay strong and this and that, and and in the same breath, Tiffany's like, well, I really need out to get out and do some things, and if people want to help me out, and this woman's basically telling her that she's dying and she doesn't know how long she's got. I mean, I don't know if this other woman's just a fantastic actor as well, but face value. And in the same breath, Tiffany's like, well, if you can help me out, I'd like to go and get some things. And it's absolutely incredible. And I saw it in the comments. If you actually see that, if anyone actually watches that clip, you'll see in the comments like people going, oh my god, did she just say she wants to go shopping while the woman's telling her that she's dying? I was like, oh yeah, she is. Anyway, I asked in that comments, YouTube Trouble, where is she? Like, because they were posting like videos every week, and then it's just stopped or something, and then the reply back was that Tiff deactivated. But these people, they never deactivate for long. I know some other people that do the same thing. They pop back up as a completely different profile or different username or whatever, and eventually people get onto them, and you see that sort of stuff again. So, but one other thing I noticed too, I need to take a drink in a sec, is that there's a lot more Howard Stern stuff on YouTube than what there used to be, and I mean, obviously none of it's monetized because it's not their content. But I've been able to watch old Howard Stern stuff that I've never seen before. Very interesting because I didn't start watching. I wasn't put onto Howard until that's when I was in Sydney. I think it was like after Jackie had left and Artie had joined. I think I started watching from Artie, which is the reason why I like Artie so much more than the old Jackie stuff. But yeah, there's a lot more of that stuff on YouTube now than what there used to be. I for a while there, I thought they were getting rid of all of that stuff. They were flagging because when I go through my subscriptions on YouTube every now and then, I've got probably 100 subscriptions there. A lot of them are gone, like they've been terminated, and they were probably the Howard Stern ones. I mean, I can understand them terminating people if they were monetized or somehow got monetized, and then they just whacked all that Howard stuff on there or something, and then they were probably making money off the Howard stuff that's not theirs and all that blah blah blah. I can understand that to a point, but I don't understand how they terminate the whole channel. Maybe they gave them 3 strikes or something, and then they terminated the channel. But every now and then I got to go through my subscriptions and unsubscribe to those dead channels because there's no point having them in your list. So one other thing that I wanted to mention is I really am enjoying the Battle Chats YouTube channel. The Steve Grillo Aftershock or whatever he calls it. Yeah, it started off on fire. Really did. Sorry, just had a quick swig. But one thing I was very disappointed in, I think it was last week, and this kind of sounds funny coming from an Aussie. They had an Australian guy on there, right, where his arms were all fucked up. Like he'd done something in Iraq or something. He was a soldier or something, and he probably lost his arms or whatever. And but they advertised him and Tim Sabian. Now, being the big Stern fan, I was fucking so keen on watching this. When I saw it come up on my notifications one night when I was sitting here on YouTube, I went, oh, fuck, I'll watch that. Because Steve Grillo's actually, not only was he a funny bastard when he was on Stern, when he was younger, I mean, he's actually, he's a pretty good friggin' broadcaster. He talk. I'm sure he could talk underwater now. And he does pretty good. He's still got that like stuttering thing when he talks. It's really funny. That's what I remember from when he was on Stern. Anyway, he's had Tim Sabian, right? So it starts off really good, right? But this Aussie guy, he took up like 80% of the whole time. He was talking about him, and they hardly went to Tim. They didn't say anything to Tim or ask anything about or talk about Stern. Nothing. I initially thought, wow, this would have been really good time to ask him questions about Stern, and he probably wouldn't have answered them. And in fact, when I look back on it now, I dare say one of the deals was that he wasn't going to comment on Stern because everyone's fucking afraid to talk about Howard Stern these days. But I wanted to ask him about fucking, if you're a Stern fan, you remember the Shitgate incident? Where that person shit all over the fucking bathroom, like left splatter all over the bathroom, and they did that whole investigation on the tags and the times and up. That's the fucking funniest shit I've ever seen. I mean, everybody shits, but it was so funny. And he finally came in and fucking, I'm sure that was Tim Sabian, wasn't it? I thought it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was Tim who was, the guilty one. And he eventually came in and said it was him and it was the green drink and it was fucking, and then Hal was like, but how did you get it up the wall? And Tim was like, I just fucking exploded, man. It's fucking so funny. I don't know if anyone remembers that. I mean, they've had quite a few incidents of fucking toilet things, and they make content out of it. It's fucking funny because it's everyday shit that, I mean, everyone's got to admit that you've made a mess of the fucking bathroom before when you've been sick, or, you have fucking explosive diarrhea. That shit is funny. I'm sorry. I mean, I've done it. I've had to clean up my mess. It's funny. Anyway, So I thought they missed a good opportunity to hit him with some questions about Marcy Turk and all that. Anyway, I know Tim's not there anymore. Tim's doing different shit. They talked a little bit about that, but I was just really disappointed because I mean I know it was another Aussie on there, and Grillo wanted to get him back and do another freaking. I didn't find him that interesting. I'm sorry, but that's just me. Couple of other YouTube channels I love is there's a YouTube channel called Bangkok 112, where this guy goes over to Bangkok. I spoke about this once before, so I won't go into it too much. But this guy goes over to Bangkok a lot, and he just like, I don't know how, but he secretly films all the nightlife, all the fucking trannies, all the nightlife, and the girls, the bar girls are out the front there, and he goes to different bars and he sits there and he drinks like just a beer and he just films it all, and he doesn't film like the conversations enough, and he just films it all and he sort of commentates and says, that I wonder if that guy knows that's a tranny and this and that, and then you see them walking off to to a motel or wherever the hell they go to. I actually enjoy that, and the food, the street food, and all the different clubs. Sometimes he does them inside the clubs where the music is just fucking pounding. It's like, I don't know how much I could deal with that, but I like the idea of walking around, talking to different people. Probably the little broadcaster side of me would want to interview people, but I don't know if I was going to go over there for a holiday, but I don't think I'll go now. And also today, just another thing I wanted to talk about. I woke up today and I was sitting here, and I always try to catch up with the news, and in one way or the other, either if I'm reading the ABC News directly on the website, or Twitter actually has quite a lot of news in the feed. And I was reading, I saw that there was another mass shooting in the States, Walmart in El Paso. 20 people dead, 26 wounded, I think was the last time I heard something. And it was some young 21-year-old guy, white guy. I don't know, obviously guy has fucking major issues. 20 people dead. I watched all the video and I was just so like, you're kidding. And I'm sorry, I mean, I know I'm Aussie and the rules of the gun laws and all that are completely different over here, and I know about the Americans, and I know about the right to bear arms and all this. It's in the Constitution and this and that. Look, come on, I gotta be honest with you guys. You have to evolve. I saw some things on Twitter like 249 shootings. They call them, I don't know if you want to, they call them mass shootings, but I know they get a little bit excited. I don't know what they class as a mass shooting. Is that more than 2 people? I don't know. They said it was 249 in the States just in this year, right? We're only in August, and there was this year none in Australia, none. There was 95% of countries were 0, and then there was just the States with 249. And I think about, and I know everyone's got different opinions on this, but basically, the idea is not to take all the guns away. This is my opinion. The idea is not to take away all the guns. The idea is to put the guns in the right hands, and so say in Australia, I'll give you an example. Is a lot of people, you can't get guns. I can't get a gun. Right? I can't go into a gun store and get a gun. You can't do it. You have to be part of a club. You have to have, I think, an impeccable background. And then you can't hide the gun on you. You can't walk around. The gun has to be transported properly, has to be stored properly in your house, and you have to be part of like a shooter's club, a genuine shooter's club. It's not just a shooter's club because you want to have a gun. You just can't do it. And in the States, from what I understand, you can just walk in and buy a gun. And anyway, my example, my sort of comment is that, like, say for instance, like the Americans say to me, we have the right to protect ourselves. Okay, so that means that there's so many guns in America, right? So you have like house invasions and road rage, and a lot of them involve guns. I don't think we have that here. Like, yes, the argument is that criminals will always get their hands on some kind of a gun, and I think that's true. I honestly do. But people that do like house invasions aren't hardened criminals. They're like desperate people. They want to rob you. There's people breaking into houses. In fact, the girl that works with me, she told me like that right next door to her parents, some guy just somehow broke through the screen door at night or something, and he just sort of like took money and wallets and that sort of stuff. Did he have a gun? We don't know. Obviously, they didn't confront him. They didn't wake up, or the guy didn't come into their rooms or anything. He was just, and I think most of the times that's the case too. And in Australia, there's a lot of like desperate people like rob servos and stuff like that, service stations. Or I don't know what you call them over there, convenience stores or something. And a lot of the time, they're hiding something in their thing, or they don't actually just pull a big fucking Glock out and put it in your face. They'll just have a knife, or and a lot of the time the people are told not to go against it. And even though you see those videos where the odd person will come up behind, try to be a hero, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. In that situation, most of the time you're just told, give the person money, let them go, and then that person, they're usually captured on video and get caught. But so I don't think there's like that much happening out here, like with a gun. There's certainly crime. Since I've been in this house, we've had no issues. I've got an alarm on this house that I monitor, but the mum left her car unlocked one night, and someone had gone through her car at the front, like under the carport. Mine's always locked and disarmed, disarmed, but disabled through the alarm or whatever. I mean, it's only a 2-year-old car. It's fairly good on that sort of thing. But mum's is an older car, and you know what? They didn't take CDs. They just took spare change. I mean, I said to mum, don't leave a cent in the car. I mean, if you can see money in the middle of the car, so even a few bucks, the kids are going to go for it. So, and I told her, always lock your car. Once it's locked, they're not prepared to smash the glass. They're not prepared to get noticed. They don't want to get caught. Small time crime. So, but yeah, getting back to the gun laws, I honestly think things need to change in the United States. I'm sorry, and I know that it's you guys are going to go through this fucking terrible period now because of the presidential campaign and elections and all that shit coming up. So they're going to use it, and I don't think anyone will be brave enough to say that the gun laws need to change. Because I know that a lot of the American people are crazy. They'll die protecting their guns. I mean, there's just some people like that, but I think the ones that want to protect their guns, they're not the criminals. It's a fucking bad, but it's just too easy to get guns. And in Australia, some years ago, and it's probably happened a few times, they had like a gun amnesty, and whatever you call it, that word, where no judgment, no names, no numbers, you could just hand in stuff, and it would be destroyed. And they were just blown. Australian officials, we'll say, were blown away at the amount of shit that was handed in. In actual fact, my stepfather had a shotgun, but it was in pieces, but it could have easily been put back together. I'm pretty sure that got handed in, and yeah, basically, yeah, I know guns are worth money. The rifles are worth money, but you couldn't sell them here. You just had it, and you didn't want to use it, and you didn't want. Because what was happening was, kids would be finding guns, that you've hidden in the house. And kids have a way of finding shit. And there was accidents happening. Or they were getting into the wrong hands. So, I know there's still guns in Australia, and in the wrong hands, there always will be. You can't stop it completely, but you fuck me dead, guys. You can really, really cut it down. Wouldn't it be great if instead of having 249 mass shootings in the States, that there was only half a dozen or something? I mean, think of all the lives that could be saved. That's just my thought, but I don't know. It's just like, I've never been there, and it just sounds so fucking dangerous, And I see friends on Twitter saying, "Oh my god, I just want to live in a safe country. Like, and it's just like, oh, your heart goes out. Like, you're kidding me? Wow. And we never give it two thoughts, you know. I don't know. In Australia, we're a little bit more confrontational in the sense that if someone breaks in, you beat the fuck out of them. You give them to the cops with a few broken ribs, and the cops don't lay any charges on you. They know exactly, hey, you break into this guy's house, you get what's coming to you. When, you know, they'll drag them away in handcuffs and probably put a boot into them as well. That's how it works. Anyway, lots of other things. I don't think I'm going to get round to talking about. I want to talk about a Periscope that I got sent, or a link I got sent to three people. Well, 1, 2, 3. No, 3. 3 people sent me a link to a crystal K Vortex scope. I didn't know what's been going on with Crystal because Crystal was brainwashed some time ago, and I didn't think it was worth working it out at the time. And she had Fancy on there. She had Fancy Dog Wings, Fancy Fuckface on there, and she had Kleenex on there. Now, I'm probably going to save this discussion for when I have Jeff, because I wanted to bounce a few things off Jeff. Jeff and I have already had a couple of conversations on Skype about it, but I wanted to bounce a few things off him, so I'm probably going to hold off on that conversation because I'm reaching the top of the hour anyway, in 7 minutes or something. So I will save that conversation, but I do want to comment on. I want to address the lies that Fancy likes to give out, and a lot of you's probably don't even, like, I know that no one else watches or listens to his SoundCloud, because you go on there and it's got 3. It's been there for a month, and it's got like, they've all got like 3 people, that 3 listens, 3 replays or whatever. So, you know, he doesn't have the audience there, so, you know, he gets on someone who is fairly popular and then sort of tells shit. So I'm going to straighten those few facts out. Plus, also Kleenex I'm going to address as well, because Kleenex is what I consider an online friend, but he seems to think that Casper's into some what did he say? Scandalous things. Which I'm gobsmacked. I'm dumbfounded, as Grillo fucking said. I don't understand that at all, and I'm going to address that as well with him. I'm very disappointed in. He didn't say bad things. I mean, I must admit. I mean, come on. This is coming from the one and only guy that actually fucking brought him something off his Amazon list wish, when he was fucking jumping up and down about nobody supporting him. Well, guess what? I think I was the only one that fucking did. And people seem to have fucking short memories, so I'm going to address that as well. The crystal, the whole crystal thing. Not many people. I don't think that many people know, but I'll address that as well, because I only wish good things for Crystal, because she's had a prick of a life, which is not. You know, it's of her own making, but it sounds like the last time I heard she was doing well. I heard something about parenting classes and stuff, but I really hope things are working out there. One thing that I find fucking pretty funny is that Rabbit died. So this platform that they all used to go to, and then they started to be selective about who they were going to let into certain rooms and that, and then taking great joy in trolling the other people that wanted to do Rabbit rooms, like Jeff Count and all that, when he was doing rooms then, when he decided to chuck it in and left. Everyone knows I left probably, 8 months ago or something. Never been back. I still have a profile on there, but I've never gone back in there, but it's apparently dead now. So what happened was, I read the article just before I came online. I think it was Amanda. Was it Amanda, the CEO, or the old CEO? Was explaining that while they were doing all improvements, they obviously need a lot. They lost their investors, and they obviously weren't making any revenue out of the actual platform. I don't even know how that fucking shit works, but there's a lot of things that they didn't have in play to I guess create recurring revenue. So they just had to keep investing in it. and they obviously had a team of about 35 or something, and she had to let them all go. And whatever hardware was left was sold to some mob called Cast or something. So, isn't it funny? Like, I don't understand how they work, but like, I remember thinking when Blab closed down, that wouldn't it have been good if like you just could buy the hardware and the software? I mean, it's just something sitting on a server. It's just a program, right? That sits on a server, and the server feeds into the net, right? Wouldn't it be good? Like, because I thought Blab was worth keeping. Rabbit, not so much. It was fucking glitchy from day one. They kept making improvements, and sometimes I made it worse. The basic Rabbit was better. And I hated how when you anyway, it's no point talking about that now. But yeah, it would have been great to buy Blab and just whacked it on a server somewhere, who's, you know, with someone that you had like just fucking ultimate fucking fantastic bandwidth, and just had like, you know, 1 or 2 people monitoring it. And even if you had joined Blab, it cost you $5 a year, something like that. You would have paid all the costs. But anyway, that was just my thought at the time. I don't know how that shit works. Like, someone invented it, right? Someone wrote the program for Blab and for Rabbit and all that sort of stuff. I don't understand how you need 35 people. I guess if you're making money, you need 35 people to come up with ideas to how to make money out of it. But she was talking about putting ads on there or something, and then I think it was because you're playing other people's content in Rabbit. They had a problem with putting ads on that because you can't put ads on other people's content or something. So that's why they weren't making any money. So anyway, yeah, that's about it for me. That's about it. Wow. Okay, it's nearly an hour. I didn't even get to the meat of what I wanted to talk about, which was that scope that Crystal did that had the 2 fellas on there. I want to talk about that, but I need Jeff for that because I want to bounce a few things off there, and I want to bring a few important things to light. But I'm not going to do that now. I'll wait for Jeff. We may do it next weekend or something like that. Maybe we'll do a combo of music and talking about things. But Jeff and I are on the same boat. Feel the same way about things. One other thing I will mention is a shout out to Agent Mud. I don't know where he went. Went off social media for some time now. I saw a few comments in Twitter from Tricep and all that, wondering where he was and hoping he's okay. And I know he's not around because he used to watch Fancy's SoundCloud or listen to Fancy's SoundClouds and always comment, and you'd see those comments there. So I always knew he was around, and you know, lighthearted fun. Mud went a bit crazy when he was drinking, but very smart man when he wasn't drinking. And Jeff and I used to talk to Mud all the time, but I haven't seen him around, and I hope he's okay. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe, I don't know if it's on purpose what he's done, whether he's just disengaged from social media, which I do totally get because I've done it a couple of times. But I hope he's all right. So we don't want anything to happen to anybody, any of our friends online. So anyway, I think that about does it for me. And as I said in the beginning, this is a pre-recorded one. Sunday, it's now 8:30 Sunday night. This is pre-recorded. I will put it up. I'll put it up on YouTube, obviously, as it is. I may play it on Periscope. But people are going to think it's live and start commenting and stuff. So sorry for that. You won't get any comments off. Actually, you might get comments. So yeah, I might sit there and listen to myself for an hour and maybe comment in by watching it. All right, so everyone take care. Oh, that's coming through a bit loud. Not supposed to do that. Oh, anyway, this is Casper signing out from Brisbane. Everyone take care. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady. She made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. And she said, do you come from a land down under? Where women go and men wonder. Can't you hear the thunder? Vegemite sandwich.